Welcome to Mocha Girls Pit Stop TV. I am Terry Lomax, and today we have a special guest that I am so excited to be interviewing. Kesha Monk is a woman of many talents. She's a voice actor, radio personality, founder of Chocolate Brides and Grooms, and a cancer survivor. Kesha, welcome to the show.
Hey, Terry. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You are very welcome, Kesha. I am so thrilled. I couldn't wait for this interview. I have a list of questions, so hopefully I won't take all of your time up this evening, but I want to.
Girl, take as much time as you need.
Yay. I'm so excited, Kesha. So, Kesha, you know, on the blog, we have an initiative called Mocha Girls on a Mission.
Mhm.
And Mocha Girls on a Mission is basically an initiative where we celebrate women who have overcome adversity, and we kind of celebrate the fact that they are living dynamically in spite of the obstacles that they faced. So I want to start off by asking you, Kesha, why are you a Mocha Girl on a mission?
Girl, we haven't even started the interview and I'm starting to tear up already. You see my eyes?
Oh goodness, guess what? I got my little tissue.
We are so emotional. Terry, I've just been through so much with regards to my health. And after um, beating colon cancer twice,
Mhm.
I have no choice but to be on a mission. I feel like God gave me a second chance. And so I am on a mission to inspire and encourage and educate and hold as many hands as I possibly can um, with regards to people who have faced adversity because I have. So it's not like I think I'm an expert at it or anything, but um, I just feel like that's my purpose, that's my purpose here on life. Girl.
Well, I do want to tell you, Kesha, I am wearing royal blue in honor
Oh,
of your, yes, your battle beating colon cancer, not once, but twice, because
twice, yeah.
it is incredible and
Yeah.
you are so amazing. So we're gonna get into that so that those who don't know about you can learn more about you. So Kesha,
Uh,
can you just kind of talk about where you're from and how you got your start in radio?
okay, well, I'm originally from New York City, Queens to be exact, and I'm a product of a musical family. My mother used to sing professionally gospel. She used to be a professional gospel singer, and so was my dad. So I was always musically inclined. I played instruments. I went to the High School of Performing Arts, the famous Fame School in New York City. Um, Play six instruments, bassoon, classically, piano, blah, 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 blah. And when I got to college, I actually thought that I'd be a teacher. I mean, because, I was kind of born that way. But I kind of wandered into the college radio station one day, and I was just fascinated at the fact that I could create my own world, just me, the music, and of course, the listeners. So that's kind of how I started in college, and it's taken me all over the country, all over the country. Yeah.
And that leads right into my next question. Let's talk about your distinguished accomplishments because you have some pretty admirable accomplishments under your belt. So can you kind of tell us, just brag on yourself a little bit, Keisha. Tell us about those accomplishments.
Terry, I've been blessed. I've been blessed because radio is kind of like when I first started into radio, I would say that it was a male dominated industry, and it still kind of is. There are women doing their thing, but it can't. I've been blessed. I've been blessed. I started out in Raleigh, North Carolina. I was in college, and I wandered up to the local urban radio station, and I said, "Hey, your office." His name was Chris Connors. Hey, Chris, wherever you may be. I didn't really have any major experience, so I said, "You know what? Your office looks like it needs cleaning." So he chuckled, and that's how I kind of got started. I started cleaning offices and bringing him coffee. And then I started doing overnights, which is the midnight to 6 shift. And I did urban contemporary, rock, and gospel in Raleigh, North Carolina. And then I went to Pittsburgh and I did a midday shift because I was a single mom. I had a daughter and I just needed more money. Um, that wasn't really my only inspiration. I always wanted to reach a larger audience anyway. So although I didn't necessarily believe I could, I applied for a job in New York City, which is the largest New York, the largest radio market in the country. I ended up, again, God, I ended up on the morning show, doing mornings with Isaac Hayes, rest in peace, and George Wallace. And then I went to Los Angeles. Stop me whenever you're ready, because I could talk about this all day.
Let's get it all up.
I went to Los Angeles and I worked at a radio station called KKBT The Beat, which is actually the second radio station Steve Harvey worked for. My show came on right after his. So I used to see him every day. And yeah, I grew, grew from that radio station, did Chicago for a while, and then back to New York City, where I had my own show. I did middays for about 4 or 5 years. And I even did some syndicated radio with Randy Jackson from American Idol. So yes, Terry, I've just had the best career ever. I mean, there's just no other way to put it.
That is so awesome. That is so awesome. And Kesha, I know when we talked offline, you kind of told me that in 2008, that's when things kind of changed for you. So can you kind of tell us, kind of walk us through what happened in 2008?
I'll never forget it. February 5th, 2008. It was primary day. President Obama now, of course. It was primary day and I was so excited. I'm telling you, I had never felt this way before about my husband is naturally a political junkie. So he kind of he inspired my whole my emotional high, I should say. I was so excited that we have the first African American running for president. It was primary day, and it was the beginning, I should say, of the whole campaign. And I was just that's how I communicated with people, through music. Even though I hosted a musically intensive show, how I spoke to people was through music. So I don't know, after the show, even though I felt it was my best show ever, I was called into the general manager's office, and it felt really weird because everybody, you have the human resources person sitting here, you got the general manager and the program. I'm like, all right, what's going on? But they said, Kesha, we love you, but we got to let you go because, you're being laid off. They made it real short. And I was hurt for a minute because I had never been terminated before, but it was sad, but I got over it, and I'll get into that. I don't want to be too long-winded with you.
Right. That's good. That's good. So after you got laid off, I mean, did you all relocate? What did you do after that?
No, I still had the Randy Jackson show. It didn't really pay a lot of money. I considered it to be more or less of a supplement. Well, the opportunity was tremendous, to be able to work beside the superstar at the time. But it didn't pay the bills. But we stayed for a little while, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna rest, but then I'm gonna get back into radio because by all means, I've worked all these major markets and I've got all of this experience and I got my degree. Somebody give me a job, it'll be easy. But I couldn't get anybody to hire me. Girl, I was applying for receptionist job just to get back into the radio station anywhere.
Right. Exactly.
It ain't work. It didn't work out exactly at that point. So I never really saw the light of day of a full-time radio personality job after that. Mm-hmm. But that's not how the story ends. So I'll let you continue.
I know that's right. So Kesha, I know that at some point you and your family moved down south, right? You moved back there. I want to say it was the Carolinas.
Yep. Raleigh, North Carolina, where it all started.
There we go. And I want to say you were at Shaw University, right?
Exactly. My husband, we decided, my husband and I, because we have a couple of gifts, we do photography and videography, and we got our alma mater. My husband actually graduated from Shaw as well. So we decided to approach the university and ask them if we could help with a little PR. So we were fortunate, we had planned to bring the kids down after we got settled and everything. We have 3 kids, by the way. I forgot to mention I have a daughter. She is your age, probably. No, Brianna is 19 and the twins are 20. He has twins from a previous relationship. So we figured, they were in school, or if I remember the story correctly at the time, we figured we'd get settled, find a house and bring everybody down. So it was a 6-month brief contract, and it was very, very, very stressful.
Yeah.
And that's when I started to get sick toward the middle of the contract. Really, really sick. Like really sick.
And can you just tell me the story about when you went to the doctor? You were like, okay, y'all need to do something. Check me out. What's going on? Something's not right. What happened then?
So Terry, I thought it was the job. I thought I was stressing. I thought I was having tremendous stomach pain. And again, this is 3 months prior to the contract. And the pain just got worse and worse. I just, I went to the emergency room and they would tell me, oh, there's nothing wrong. We see a little bowel in your belly due to the x-ray. So just go home and eat some spinach or drink some Metamucil. You'll be all right. But that wasn't enough. The pain just got worse. Like at one point, and this is how it went. One night I could not breathe. I could not, and literally the pain was taking my breath away. And I apologized to my husband. I said, babe, I'm really sick and tired of these people at the emergency room telling me that there's nothing wrong. I'm sorry. We're going to go back to the emergency room. I don't want to pee in the cup. I don't want to do a blood test. I don't want any x-rays. I need imaging that's going to really, really see what's going on. So please accept my apology, because if I have to kick over a chair, or if I have to, rip up some magazines in order for them to listen, that's what we're going to do, because this is getting ridiculous. So they hesitated, but they gave me the CT scan, and that's when they saw the tumor. And all I remember is saying, being told, Miss Monk, we're going to have to admit you right away, and you're going to have to do a colonoscopy in the morning. And I just remember waking up and the doctor sitting at the foot of the bed saying, oh, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad. She ain't have no bed manners. She ain't no bedside manners.
Right? Oh my God.
That's, exactly. That's not really necessarily how you want to be told. But that's what happened. And it was shocking. I really thought I was going to die. I thought it was over. You hear the C word and, they ain't got no cure for it. So I just immediately thought that everything was over at that point.
Right.
Don't look so sad though, because
I know. I already know. I know. We're gonna get to it too. But Kesha, I have to know, when you first heard that, I mean, what was that conversation like with your family? What were you thinking? How was your health before? I just have so many questions.
I was very, very healthy before. Very, very healthy. My husband and I, even though we weren't the skinniest, I had a child, and when you get older, you gain a little weight. But we played tennis and we took walks and everything like that. We were doing pretty good. But I have to be honest. I just remember thinking I was going to die. I don't really think I remember much else after that. It was around Christmas time, I remember, and there were also a lot of issues with, remember, we were independently contracted, so we didn't have insurance. I mean, it was just perfect the way everything worked. I think it was also in God's plan, because I'm so strong. I'm strong. Like nothing matters. I've realized how things really aren't as important as we stress them to be. If you're blessed with the gift of life, you have a whole lot. Yeah. But again, while I was going through that, I didn't know. Thank God I lived to tell the story.
Right.
I thought it was truly over. I don't remember telling my daughter. I don't remember telling my mom. I don't remember. That's how
Mm-hmm.
messed up I was.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's so deep.
Yeah,
And
man.
what do you think motivated you throughout your whole journey? Because I know you're still going through some things now. What has motivated you and kind of kept you going?
Well, it's really funny. Not ha ha funny, but weird kind of funny how that whole cancer thing happened because after I was diagnosed, after I had a colon resection, and after I did 6 months of chemotherapy, which was wretched, by the way, sidebar, I always tell people it's not necessarily the cancer, it's the chemo.
Yeah.
It's the chemo, and it's the mental, the mental hurdle of accepting the fight and being willing to fight.
Mm.
Chemo almost killed me, girl. I had so many problems. I started bleeding uncontrollably. I had to have and I have no problem telling all my business because prayerfully somebody will hear this and be inspired by it. I pray. I pray in this whole big world that somebody will get this. I developed high blood pressure. I started bleeding. I had to have something called an IVC filter implanted in my chest, just in case any other blood clots wanted to travel toward the heart. I lost I couldn't taste like for months. I had no, that's a horrible thing when you cannot taste your food.
Oh,
Um, I was walking with a walker. I mean, everything that could go wrong went wrong.
yeah.
And right after I did that 6 month bid of chemotherapy, girl, the cancer came right back.
Get out of here.
It was crazy. And then out of all the places in the world that it could come back, it came back in my neck. So remember, I'm this personality. I'm the one who communicates by, for a living, using my vocal cords,
Yeah.
and then I also have chemo fog, which doesn't allow me to speak as fluently as I should. So please be patient with me.
Absolutely.
Um, Lymph node. That's what I'm trying to say. A lymph node. It came back in my lymph node. And again, the doctors, girl, ain't nothing wrong with you.
Mm.
When you're sick, your lymph nodes get, swollen, this, that, and the third. And, I've learned to listen to my body.
Yes.
And I had, you have to demand basically, well, that's your opinion. God bless you. Do a biopsy and let's just make sure. So right after that, I had to do another 6 months. But developed a lot of other health problems after that. But I am so unbelievably blessed, and I just figure if God gave me a second chance, He must have did it for a reason.
Yes.
So I'm here to tell a story, and I'm here to hold hands with anybody who wants to hold hands with me, with regards to getting over things like that. Health adversity. It's all about how you handle it here.
I know that's right. And Kesha, your book and your movie are going to be amazing.
Girl,
Amazing. I mean, you couldn't
will
even
you
write
produce
that.
it?
You couldn't even write that if you wanted to. You know what I mean? That's just
Yeah.
that's bizarre, but it's such a blessing how God has brought you through and is continuing to bring you through.
Yeah, he does each and every day, each and every day. And if there's one thing I've learned, Terry, even though to this, I should have taken this out. I went to the doctor today. I've developed sleep apnea now, which means that I stop breathing in the middle of the night sometimes. So now I have to sleep with a machine. But I'm so like, I could be dead and gone. You
Mhm.
understand what I'm saying? So I welcome that. I think also, and it's funny that you said movies and books and all that stuff. I just feel like with everything that's happening to me now, it's just adding another chapter. That's all.
That's it.
This is not how the story ends. So I'm really, really blessed, and I'm happy. I'm happy that someone as yourself would um, want to share the microphone with little old me just to tell my little old story. It is tremendous. And I just thank you. You're like the best.
Okay, the tissues are coming out now.
Are the tears coming out? Yeah. You late. You late.
But Kesha, I want to ask you, who are your heroes?
Oh, my husband, definitely. My mom. I have a lot of heroes because my mom actually had the same type of cancer that I had. And I don't know. I don't know what's up with her generation with their willingness not to talk about it. I don't know. Maybe it's not her generation. Maybe it's just her. But she, even though she didn't necessarily sit me down and say, this is what you do when when the doctor tells you this, and she didn't give me a manual on how to fight colon cancer. She lived it. You know what I mean? She showed me just by being strong, how to survive. And my husband, girl, girl, he is the epitome of everything a man should be. When he said, in sickness and in health, he meant that thing. He has not left my side. He's never got frustrated. Every single nurse, that I've ever encountered or doctor always have to remind me how blessed I really am to have someone to stick by my side through something like that. A lot of men will be out, like,
Like deuces.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, two of my heroes. I'm not trying to make this a 3-hour interview, but yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And can you talk a little bit about, I want to talk about Kinky Cancer, and I want to talk about Chocolate Brides and Grooms as well. So can we first talk about Kinky Cancer? What is the movement, and when did you begin it, and where are you going with that?
Okay, so this is something that everybody probably won't understand, especially my Caucasian brothers and sisters who are of a different, texture. When I was going through that chemo, I lost my hair, and it was traumatic. If anybody knows how Black women are in their hair, well, then I don't have to explain to you. It was really traumatic. It's kind of embarrassing. People will always say, you got your life. Who cares about hair? It'll grow back, this, that, and the third. Well, I wasn't trying to hear all that. So I was forced to go natural because my doctor said you can't put any more perms in your hair. And that was a journey within itself. And I got on the internet while I was going through, all that depression and stuff to try to find other women who went through chemotherapy and lost their hair. A little bit of guidance or, what do you call it? Internet inspiration. I couldn't really find anybody. So as always, I always feel that if you can't find it, fill a void and do something. So Kinky Cancer, the movement, it is just the beginning. I started blogging. The blog is no longer because I couldn't afford the bill at the time. I'm doing much better though, praise God.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a movement, and I have so much planned for it. I don't even know if I can fit it all, but particularly I want to be an inspiration to other women who have lost their hair and let them know that life is not over. I'm having so much fun learning about my little kinks and so forth. I wouldn't put a perm back if I wanted to.
Yeah, that's right.
The natural hair movement is a big thing. And did I hear somebody ask about Chocolate Brides?
Yes, because I've definitely been on Chocolate Brides and Grooms, because I just want to say, when I'm getting married in July, and when I Googled Black brides for inspiration, I saw a bunch of black dresses. I'm like, what are black brides? I'm like, hey, well, do Black people get married? Because I heard of people getting married, but I didn't see anything on Google.
Girl.
But someone.
And you know what's really crazy about that is that I got married in 2003 and I was in that same situation. So, that's a whole movement. I definitely, Terry, I know you got to interview other people, but I wish that you and I could really talk about Chocolate Brides and Grooms because it's so much more than a website. Okay, let's start over. So when I got married, I couldn't find any, hold on, don't move.
Okay.
I couldn't find any. I just remember something. I couldn't find any inspiration for brides of color. So what did I say a minute ago? If it's not there, you create your own way.
There you go.
Started off as a message board, then it developed into a blog, and then I got sick and I had to put everything on the back burner. But it got so deep, Terry. I even created like a magazine, Chocolate Brides magazine. I
Yeah.
said, right, exactly. I was like, when I go to Barnes and Noble, look at you. But hold on.
Maybe one of those. Are those available for people to purchase?
Girl, this is 19 to 2007. The it different day and age. But again, when when I looked at bridal magazines, I didn't see myself. So
Right.
I went and I created this magazine. And it's like when women have a commonality, it just makes us strong. Forget everything that you've heard about women not getting along and women being catty. There are women, and even though the website isn't back up yet, it's on its way.
Mhm.
There are women that have been friends since we launched in 2003.
Wow.
They're still, the Chocolate Brides are still out there on Facebook and Twitter, and they go out to dinner, and complete strangers now. So it's a movement, and I think that when we rebirth, it's going to be bigger, brighter, and better than ever. We need positive imagery out here, is if I have to tell you that. It's a lot going on. And instead of complaining about how, VH1 doesn't show us in a positive light, and, you know, Brides magazine won't do this, that, and the third. I'm not gonna complain. I'm just gonna make a way out of no way.
Better preach. That's how we do it. When you see the void, you create. There you
That's
go.
right. Fill that void.
I
That's what it's
can't wait for the website to launch. I love the Facebook page. Even now, I'm still looking at your Facebook page for inspiration. Chocolate Brides and Grooms is amazing.
Oh,
Keisha,
thank
where can we find you on social media?
Okay, well, you can just look me up, Kesha Monk. Isn't my name like at the bottom of the screen right
It,
there?
yep, right there. That's
Yeah.
it.
You can search Kesha Monk. I got a little Facebook page, and I also have a Kinky Cancer Facebook page as well, um, which I'm just blessed. Social media is amazing. I'm talking to people on the other side of the earth about being strong and being inspired and being encouraged, and that's basically it.
Keisha, you're so awesome. You are such an inspiration. I'm so happy that we crossed paths the way that we did. And I want to ask you, is there anything in closing, any words of encouragement or any advice that you want to give for women who are struggling with any ailments or just women in general who are, hoping to achieve their goals and dreams?
Absolutely. Well, um, first of all, I'm not going to sit here and say, when you put your mind to it, you can do it, because it's easier said than done. You know, if you have to, have a long talk with yourself and figure out what your purpose is, what God's plan for you in life. Once you realize that, do it. You know what I mean? You're blessed. You have a lot to live for, and guaranteed, if you could just make a difference in one person's life, I would encourage you to try to do that. That's all I want to do. Just one person at a time. That's
I love it. I love it. Thank you
all.
so much, Keisha, for taking the time out of your day. I know you have a busy schedule and you have stuff going on, so I really do appreciate you taking the time out to speak to me. I know someone will definitely be touched by your message and your interview, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Listen, it's no problem at all. If you want to do a part 2 and 3, and then when I get my movie and my book and you want to produce it, come on.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found at least one nugget or one takeaway from today's interview. If you're looking for a positive community where women inspire women, feel free to subscribe to the Mocha Girls Pit Stop blog. You can visit mochagirlspitstop.com, or you can click the links below to subscribe to our blog. You'll receive free resources along with our weekly inspirational newsletter, and I really hope to see you in our community. Thanks so much.